1 2 1 2 1 2. 500.
Look your stretch, man. I'm here. Good. Here. Look for me. Uh. I've got to me can confirm. No, I don't bother with that man. Remember say that sudden Sunday. Yeah, the one. That's God. Yeah, yeah, the Monday. The Monday. Time school. Problem me up. But yeah, the Monday. Yeah, the Monday. One around. So for me time that's free, so. Yeah. No, no, no way. Which one game I play? Oh, bro. Eh? Pure football. Oh, that's what, man. There it was.
Yo. Come on,
But
man.
later, me know.
Oh,
Yeah, pressure me, sir. Yeah, pressure me, man.
oh.
Who not put in shit. Ballaz. You don't know me. You don't know me. You're right thing, man.
Good afternoon. Welcome to MG Sports. And of course, today we have the Under 17 Elite Competition Week 6. And the day's first game will be taking place between Ballaz Academy and Mount Pleasant Academy. Mount Pleasant currently sits second in the table after getting back to winning ways last week in a 2-0 victory, where they calmly dispatched of their opponents. They had a very difficult loss, 5-1 previous week to Harbour, but they seem to have set things right, get back some of their injured or suspended players, and they will be hoping to just as convincing a victory over Ballaz Academy as they did in their first match early in the competition. Ballaz Academy, of course, claimed their first win of the competition last week after beating Montego Bay United 4-2. That sees Montego Bay United remaining as the only winless team so far in the competition, which of course leaves them in last place. Ballaz Academy's Daniel Thomas will be looking to continue his good form after getting himself on the score sheet last week. Of course, coming up against much stern opposition, but expect him to turn in a good performance all the same. And we're underway, and Mount Pleasant will kick us off. Mount Pleasant, of course, as he previously stated, got back to winning ways last week with a 2-0 victory. Will be hoping for another great performance from them, seeking to, of course, get back to the top of the table in their position from Harbour View. Harbour View dropped points for the first time last week since the Under 17 Elite Cup has started with a 1-1 draw against Cavalier. Tyreek Robinson, in-form striker, of course, scored last week with a brilliant free kick. Score for the 5th consecutive week. There's Silvera on the ball. It's progress from deep. Clark playing up front today for Ballaz Academy. Very different option to Jaheim Harris. Probably a more mobile option, which is what they're going for today. Eager to see how he performs alongside Daniel Thomas and Abraham Josephs. Very dangerous front three. But of course, as previously mentioned, Mount Pleasant are no easy team to roll over. The ball played in behind here to Byron. Somehow gets past his defender. There's Owen jump to Jaheim Douglas. Missed the game against Harbour View, but he's reclaimed his spot after the suspension. Unfortunately, control wasn't good enough. And that will be a goal kick to Ballaz Academy. My apologies, folks. Siobhan Byron will not be playing today. He's been replaced in the starting lineup. Pleasant going with a new look forward line today. And that will be a free kick, it seems, to Mount Pleasant. Annie Douglas wins a foul for Ballaz Academy, and he starts quickly. Thomas loses it in the middle of the park. Miguel Joseph. Jump, captain. Mount Pleasant, of course, on the ball. A poor pass there by Joseph, trying to find Cleaver Nugent, but Abraham Joseph can come forward now with the ball for Ballaz Academy. Twists and turns and finds his way out of danger to Kanye Douglas. Breaking through, trying to find Dejon Ho Young. And Mount Pleasant's goalkeeper does brilliantly there to get to it first. Bill does brilliantly there to keep composure. Thomas tries to find Richard Clark. Doesn't know where the ball is. Mount Pleasant in position. There's Nugent coming deep. It's unfortunately unable to keep the ball in play. And that will be a throw into Ballaz Academy. Here's jump. The ball into to Nugent. But he loses out there. And that's a foul on Ballaz Academy. Just wide there with a lovely ball over the top. Lovely worked play by Mount Pleasant. Again, the ball's picked off in the middle of the park. Quickly win it back, and now they can break with the John Ho Young. Plays it to Richard Clark. Previously mentioned he's in for Jaheem Hussey, who's been their primary striker thus far this season. Jaheim Harris, rather, my bad. Shot from distance, but that was never really going to trouble the goalkeeper from there. That will be a goal kick to Mount Pleasant. Going into last week's game, of course, Ballaz Academy were winless. The performances hadn't been, they probably what they've been expecting, but they've had a positive start thus far. They're on the threat here. Jackson St. Honord, and there's Owen Jump. Thought he was clipped there by Kyle Samuels, but the ref deems that a goal kick and not a foul. In goal for Ballaz Academy today is Devontae Horton, who replaces Machel Dennis. Dennis, ever since that game against KFA where he conceded directly from a corner, has not really been in the starting lineup. There's Jackson St. Honord, has a shot at goal, and that's blocked brilliantly by Silvera. Here's Joseph, brilliantly beats Thomas. Ball to St. Honord, to Nogent, shot from distance, and that's calmly collected by Horton. Starting lineups so far read for Ballaz Academy. As previously mentioned, Devontae Horton replacing Machel Dennis in goal. Bajani Silvera, Kyle Samuels, Annie Douglas, Daniel Thomas, Jasiri Hussey, Dejan Ho Young, Abraham Josephs, Richard Clark, Ahim Cormac, Kenel Johnson, and from Mount Pleasant, Mario Herwood back in goal this week, along with Owen Jump, Cleaver Nugent, Adrian Flinch, Earl Dennis, Irani Hines, Jackson St. Honord, Miguel Joseph, and Jaheim Douglas. As well as Franco Celestin and Rashawn Williams. Got to mention them, my bad. Definitely a positive start to the game thus far by Ballaz Academy. Not being intimidated by the attacking prowess of the second placed Mount Pleasant. Silvera will definitely have a hard time should he have to come up against Nugent. But I think with the absentees today in Mount Pleasant's starting lineup, such as Siobhan Byron and Jamari Nolan, should make for an easier time of things. It's a free kick to Ballaz Academy. Delivered into the box. And Harewood claims that one. Oh, lovely work there by Nugent. Flicks it over the defender. And he has space and time down this wing. And fails to beat Hussey again. Reclaims possession for Ballaz Academy. Definitely think he had enough space and time there to get a shot off. Abraham Josephs Although lovely work there to beat his defender. He still has possession somehow. Perhaps should have crossed the ball there, but loses out to flinch. Jump, lovely one-time pass. But Samuels gets away that one. Douglas there, fouled by Douglas. Funnily enough. Joseph, the ball over the top. Celestine get to this one. That should be a corner kick. Or rather, it's a goal kick to Ballaz Academy. Ball down the wing. Joseph again, but he loses. It's out there. Ball through. To Celestine. Oh, and a rather tame effort. But Horton gets to that all the same, and that will be very calm, easy save for Ballaz Academy's goalkeeper, Devontae Horton. Perhaps should have opened the scoring there, but Ballaz Academy will be grateful that perhaps was not Siobhan Byron on the end of that. Who's, of course, out today. Loses the ball out in the middle of the park. And Douglas! What a goal! Jaheim Douglas with yet another goal in this competition, and he breaks out a celebration here. Lovely, cracking effort from way out. Beautiful goal there from Jaheim Douglas to opening scoring. As it stands, Mount Pleasant, of course, will be going back to the top of the table. Well, at least until Harbourview play later against Montego Bay United. Jaheim Douglas, one of the most versatile players in this competition. Great at practically every facet of the game. Scores his jump, wins the ball back quickly for Mount Pleasant. Celestine has it out wide. Neves beats his defender, squares into the box. It's a poor cross that will be put out by Anthony Silvera. And Joseph wins that ball back easily. And Celestine has an opportunity to cross it. Keeps the ball in play. Tries to find Douglas there. Ballaz Academy now can break. Pass just not good enough. Trying to find Joseph behind the defense. Here's Captain Jump on the ball. Lovely ball over the top. Finds Nugent. The first touch. Just perhaps not good enough. He wins it back from the goalkeeper, who spilled it into his path. In cross here. Goes back to Celestine. Finds Miguel Joseph. Lovely composure on the ball here from Mount Pleasant. Finds Saint Denord, who does well to spin away from one defender. and has an opportunity to cross into the box. Can't find a teammate. Kyle Samuels will get that one away.
Yo.
Pleasant not letting Ballaz Academy to settle on the ball at all. Winning back every loose ball whenever a clearance is made.
Oh, sorry.
Just trying to thread the needle there to find Celestine, but unfortunately, Jump is unable to do so. Shark Clark on the ball. Does well to obtain position, but then loses it. Here's Mitchell Joseph. The goal scorer, Jaheim Douglas. Arnie Hines. All over the top, trying to find Douglas, but a bit too much on it. Severa will get that one away to Hussey.
George's box cover.
Neil Jackson having a bit of a rough time in the middle of the parks thus far. Ballaz Academy perhaps just needs to scan the field a bit better whenever he's going to make his first touch. Seems Daniel Thomas will be over this free kick. Of course, he's already shown his prowess from set pieces so far in this competition. Steamers will be hoping for another good delivery here. Thomas puts it into the box. It's a rather poor effort. Harewood claims that one comfortably. There's Hines. He has Douglas wide, but instead he opts to go it alone. Loses out to Kenil. Josephs is fouled. And it will be a free kick to Ballaz Academy. Abraham Josephs, definitely one of the most electrifying players in terms of being able to beat a man, but his decision making does leave a lot to be desired thus far. Poor first touch there from Nugent. No consequences. Mount Pleasant win the ball back. Clark. Out again. Just jump. Break forward. Celestine to his right. Beats his defender yet again. To Douglas. Oh, good shot. And that is saved. Straight down the middle though for the goalkeeper, Horton. But nevertheless, lovely build-up play there by Mount Pleasant. Douglas eager to get his second of the game. Joseph. Again loses out. There's Jackson St. Inord trying to find Jump.
Control, time.
Unfortunately can't do so.
That man.
Vera
Hold
trying
up,
to
Harry.
find Joseph. Joseph is fouled. That will be a water break. Both teams. So far, must say, given the expectations, a positive performance by Ballaz Academy. But unfortunately find themselves 1-0 down thanks to a beautiful effort from way out from Jaheim Douglas. Lovely finish there. Despite the absentees, Mount Pleasant back to their dominant ways with a great performance thus far. And we can just get a look at the goal here. Well, shortly. But it was definitely a great strike from Jaheim Douglas. And just have a look here at the opening goal. Ball one, again high up the pitch. Mount Pleasant. And Douglas struck right away. What a goal. Keeper had no chance with that one. That's how Mount Pleasant are in front. Franco Celestin, must say, has placed Jamari Nolan adequately thus far. Good account of himself. The ability to beat his man. It's definitely been on show so far in this first 20 minutes of the or so. This first half. Final ball could perhaps be a bit better, but definitely been exciting to watch. Seems the players are disputing whose ball it is when the play was stopped for a water break. And play resumes with Ballaz Academy. Referee perhaps didn't like something there. Will have to be taken over. Jackson St. Nord has it. Throwing jump. Bit of a high boot there by Douglas. But the referee says play on. Joseph. Oh, lovely ball for Celestine. And Kyle Samuels. Valiant effort there to win the ball back for Ballaz Academy. On Daniel Thomas, lovely turn there. Has a chance to strike a goal. And that's way out. Way over the bar. Perhaps would have been better passing to one of his teammates. Or going closer in for a shot. But positive play here in the counter attack by Ballaz Academy. Daniel Thomas, of course, their talisman, as previously mentioned, scored last week in a 4-2 victory over Montego Bay United. Great performance. Definitely one of the standout players thus far in the tournament. Joseph now has a chance to beat his defender. But again, due to tunnel vision, he loses the ball out to Hines. Decision making just really needs to be better from Joseph. He has all the physical tools to be a great player, but what a pass by Douglas. By Hines, rather. But just can't find Hines. Can't find Douglas. Samuels almost loses the ball out. The referee says play on, but he calls that back now. That will be a foul to Ballaz Academy. Oh, lovely work there by Thierry Morel. Here's Dejan Hoyoung. Lovely work to retain position and slips over just as he's about to cross the ball, unfortunately. That will be out to Adrian Flinch, who collects that one. Celestin, one of the bright sparks of the first half thus far, does well to carry it. Just unable to get a pass off before losing it. Annie Douglas. Lovely work to skip away from Joseph in the middle of the park. But his pass, perhaps a bit too much on it, to find Dejan Hoyoung. Christian has another opportunity to go at his defender here and beats him again. Lovely show of speed and control from Celestin thus far. He finds Douglas. Gets it back to Celestin. Will definitely be looking to take him on. Morel gets past him again. Gets past another. Pass into... Oh! Attempted back heel from Jackson there. Just not on the same wavelength as Celestin. Long ball over the top from Ballaz Academy, trying to find Richard Clark. Unable to do so. Ballaz Academy have position. That will be a foul. Seems Hines got a slight punch in the chest. Spectators just marveling at the speed and dribbling ability of Franco Celestin, who has routinely made Thierry Morel at left back for Ballaz Academy look a fool. Lovely display from him so far. Here would target Celestin yet again. Samuels is equal to that, and that will be a throw to ball to Mount Pleasant, rather. Jackson St. Nord is judged to have committed a handball. That will be a free kick to Ballaz Academy. Dijon Hoyang standing over this free kick for Ballaz Academy. Ball delivered in. It's headed. Joseph has a chance. Deflected away. And the shot by Connie Douglas. Deflected again. That will be a throw. Ballaz Academy, perhaps their best chance of the game thus far. Should have been 1-1. Should have been the equalizer. But the score remains Mount Pleasant 1, Ballaz Academy 0. Just slightly over 10 minutes to go. That should be another foul. Daniel Thomas this time. Thomas takes his free kick. That's cleared out. Hussey attempting to volley that one. But Mount Pleasant are clear. Can Celestin get it? He got to it. And he can break. His counter-attacks look dangerous. Can Celestin beat his man yet again? Gets past Morrill. Passes it back to Jump, who leaves it for Nugent. And unfortunately, the attack breaks down. But yet again, Franco Celestin having Perry Morrill on toast. He's left him for dead yet again. I'm pretty sure Thierry Morrill will be having nightmares of this performance after the conclusion of this game. Hines retains position in the middle of the park. Lynch looking for Jackson. Finds him. There's Jump. It's it back to Celestin. Another round of one. And just Jump. The referee has pointed to the spot. And that is a penalty to Mount Pleasant. They have the opportunity to double their lead. The connection between Celestin and Jump proving to be effective yet again. It seems they've won a penalty for their efforts. Seems Claver Nugent will step up to take this penalty. Seems Devontae Horn was getting some medical attention. Hopefully he's okay. Of course, should Claver Nugent dispatch of this penalty, he will move level with Tyreek Robinson as the joint top scorer in the competition with 6 goals. Nugent. Calmly dispatches that one, sends the goalkeeper the wrong way, and Mount Pleasant's lead is doubled. Scoreline is Mount Pleasant 2, Ballaz Academy 0. As previously stated, as it stands, until Harbourview play against Montego Bay United later, Mount Pleasant will move back to the top of the table. Just 5 minutes to go in this first half. Must say, Ballaz Academy haven't disappointed here. They have put in an okay performance, but they've been made to look inferior here by the attacking prowess of Mount Pleasant, who win the ball back.
Oh.
Douglas using his body there to retain position. And jumps smartly, lets it go out for a throw. Referee just talking to Kanye Douglas there. Just giving him a stern warning. Throw taken. Joseph gets it out to Celestin again. Standout play in the game so far.
Take him.
Opts not to take on Thierry Morel this time.
Take him.
He's baiting him for the tackle, but he passes it off. There's Adrian Flinch on the ball. Tries to find Nugent, but Hussey smartly lets that one get out of play. Free kick taken by Thomas. Calmly collected by Herwood. Yo, Joseph breaks free, gets it out to Jackson St. Honord. Can take on Silvera in the corner here.
Take him.
And he beats him.
Ball.
And Silvera fouls him.
You touch him. What the? You don't need to touch him. If you think about it, you fall. The things you're falling, you fall.
Jamari Nolan, typically their set piece taker. Seems this one will be taken by either Nugent or Douglas. And Miguel Joseph will step across to take this one instead. Joseph shot at goal. Keeper spills it and headed Nugent tries to get the goal here, but he'll just have to settle for the one. Celestin yet again beating his man, cross into the box there from Flinch. Oh, an attempted bicycle kick from Saint Nord. Unfortunately can't connect with it. It ends up being a foul. Yet to see if there's added time from the referee. It's yet to be indicated. We have come to end of regular play. And Nugent wins the ball back high up the pitch. And is adjudged to have kept it in play. But the referee will pull it back for a throw. Ballaz Academy.
Open.
And that will be halftime. And going into the break, Mount Pleasant take a 2-0 lead thanks to goals from Jaheim Douglas with a thunderous effort from way out. And from the penalty spot, Claver Nugent ties Tyreek Robinson. 6 goals apiece at the top of the race for the Golden Boot in the Under-17 Elite Cup competition. As it stands, as previously stated, Mount Pleasant will remain top of the table. Will go top of the table, rather. We'll be back after the break. This is John Stewart for MG Sports. Play resumes here. Scoreline, of course, remains Mount Pleasant 2, Ballaz Academy 0 in the under-17 elite Jamaican competition. Goals from Jaheim Douglas and Claver Nugent in the first half. Seeing dominant performance by Mount Pleasant be rewarded by a 2-0 scoreline. Abraham Joseph trying to get past Durrani Hines, but fouls him instead. Hines definitely got the better of Joseph there, the first half, and he'll be looking to continue his steady performance this second one. Must, of course, point out again impressive performance Franco Celestin in that first half. Several times leaving Thierry Morrill for dead. Great performance. There's Morrill here on the ball to Daniel Thomas, who's picked by Douglas, but the referee says no foul. Substitute. Ballaz Academy plays it towards Richard Clark. Can't find him, however. Ball goes up, trying to get to Morrill. That one is cleared. Hussey to Thomas. To Hussey. Jason Morrill. Celestin beats him yet again. Beats 2, gets past Hussey. Celestin, great through pass, finds Saint Inord. Sit back to beat Samuels. Fashions the chance, and the shot is blocked brilliantly by Carl Samuels. Jackson Saint Inord, performance so far. In to replace Chevron Byron, who has done really well for Mount Pleasant in recent weeks, but he's given a good account of himself thus far. Jump to take the corner towards the back post, unable to find Nugent. Gets it away to Flinch. Pleasant. Tries to find jump here, but that should be an easily claimed by Harewood. Here's Thomas. Hussey. Kanye Douglas. Hussey. Hussey is, of course, in to replace Captain Byron Fletcher, who's injured today. Fortunately, he's ill after playing in the rain of last week's game against Montego Bay United in Montego Bay United. There's Thomas down this left wing, attempts to beat jump. League loses the ball out to Douglas. That will be counter-attack for Mount Pleasant. Has him in stride. Nugent to Jackson, and that's goal. That should be 3-0, but the offside flag comes up, and that will be offside, unfortunately. But again, lovely, well worked play there by Mount Pleasant. Fortunately, the potential third goal ruled out. Jackson St. Nord in to replace Siobhan Byron today. Has given a great performance thus far and perhaps deserved a goal, but unfortunately ruled offside. Here's Thomas. Loses the ball in the middle of the park. Oh, and that looks harsh on him. The ball. The Celestine beats his defender yet again.
Oh.
And the pass is cut out there.
Ball.
Neil Jackson. And Silvera. Pass just goes awry, and that will be claimed by Mount Pleasant. Douglas has acres of space to run into. Just trying to get control.
Why you not tackling, man? Close at him.
Miss
I'm not
Celestine. Jump. Joseph. First touch. Jump. Has Nugent out wide. Douglas perhaps had a chance over on that right hand side to get it into the box, but doesn't still retain position. Just retaining position here, just having control of the game. Not in any rush, of course, to get a third goal, already having a 2-0 lead. Dominant display here today. Gotten back some of their starters. Injury and suspension. Of course, still missing Jamari Nolan, Siobhan Byron, but they've looked back their form that they had early in the competition. Free kick here to Mount Pleasant. Looks like should be Joseph over this one. Free kick taken, headed on onto the crossbar. Mount Pleasant still have possession. Jackson St. Nord trying to beat Hussey, gets past him. Turns back at the sight of Samuel. And balls gained. Celestine. Back out wide. Cross into the box. Just met his teammates. Sean Williams came on at halftime. And so far hasn't put her foot wrong. And here's Joseph again, one of these standout performers thus far today. Sorely missed in their 5-1 drubbing by Harbour View just 2 weeks ago. Joseph, lovely work there. Turn away from his defender. Finds Douglas. Spins away from Douglas. Here's Hines. Wild swing by Morrill there. And he seems he's just caught a piece of Durrani Hines. That will be a foul. Free kick. Celestin spins away yet again from Hussey. It's the beating of his man. Has a chance to cross into the box. And loses out there this time to Kanye Douglas, who breaks forward. Ball to the top, trying to find Richard Clark, but just too much on it. And Adrian Flinch does well to head it into the path of goalkeeper Harewood. Jump. Wide to Durrani Hines. Back to Celestin. And Samuels. Lovely cross. Lovely tackle to get across there. That will be a goal kick to Ballaz Academy. Seems Samuels is down here in some pain. The medics will rush across to attend to him. Of course, result of that slide tackle he just made to disrupt the attack of Mount Pleasant. Seen several crunching tackles by both teams so far. And seems one of them has caught up to their players. Player from Ballaz Academy, rather. I must say, Barry Morrill looks exhausted. That is the face of a man who has been beaten over and over again today by Franco Celestin. Definitely one of the most technical players that I've seen thus far in this competition, Franco. Eager to see more of him in the coming weeks. Definitely the type of player that is sorely missing in the country right now. Chiffon Byron coming on for Jackson St. Nord. Byron, of course, is the usual starter and faces Jackson, who gave a good account of himself today. Great performance, but he will be subbed off in place of Byron. Ronnie Hines, as well, as being subbed off after a great performance up against Abraham Joseph on that opposite flank. Free kick to be taken by Ballaz Academy. Aim towards Clark. And that's away by Mount Pleasant. His jump. Here's Douglas. Tries to feed his man. That's gotten away by Kenil Jackson. Malik Garrick's trying to find Richard Clark, but so far today he's had little to no service. Jump. Trying to feed Celestin, but eventually finds him. Can have a shot at goal here. Oh, and the shot goes just into the side netting. Morrill coming forward. The pass, however, just too much on it for Hussey. Celestin spins away from Hussey. Lovely pass here for Byron. The goalkeeper is easy to it. Douglas. The shot is cleared by Silvera. Devontae Houghton collects it. Byron almost making an immediate impact. Could have made it 3. Here's Celestin. Gets past his man yet again. And the shot is just shanked. Not hit cleanly at all. And it's into the arms of the goalkeeper. There's Douglas. Tries to get away from his defender. Trevon Byron. Spills it into the path of Celestin, who's made it 3. But it's just offside. Celestin has had a couple of chances here today. But unfortunately, scoreline remains 1% 2. Ballaz Academy 0. Keeper perhaps should have done better with Byron's shot, but ooh, harsh challenge there by Douglas, but he gets that away for a throw. The referee has called over one of Mount Pleasant's players. He's giving him a yellow card. Seems to be Adrian Flinch here. Not sure what the card's for, but I'm assuming it's for dissent. Thomas takes the free kick. Aimed at Josephs. Unable to find him, however. Just jump and Nugent connecting in the middle of the park. Attempts to find his player, but there's Connie Douglas. Neil Jackson loses the ball in the middle of the park. Richard Clark all the way back in his own half. Does win position with throw in for his team. And here's Jaheim Douglas. Lovely through pass for Celestin. Cuts it back. Strike at goal, and he scores. And a well-deserved goal for Franco Celestin. Been the standout performer today in this game, and he gets a goal to reward his efforts. And that's 3 goals now for Mount Pleasant. And surely this game is over. Just about 25 minutes to go in this one. And the score reads Mount Pleasant 3, Ballaz Academy 0. Franco Celestin, his dribbling and passing ability have been on show today, but it's his finishing that has kept off this game. And even straight from the kickoff, Mount Pleasant with a press, and it's Jaheim Douglas. Let's get cleared away. Here's Byron to Nugent. Stop for jump. Celestine so skillful, so composed on the ball. Sean Williams. Joseph uses his hand well. Celestine going to take on Hussey again. He passes it back. Joseph strike from distance, and goalkeeper does well. That had an almost an unfortunate bounce, almost put it into the top corner. But Houghton did well to see the bounce early and just get that away for a corner kick. Joseph also looking to get on the score sheet here. And Celestine will take this corner kick. Celestine, corner taken. There's Byron. And that's a goal. And Chevon Byron off the bench today, but gets yet another goal in this competition. Instinctive finish there by Chevon. And this is quickly becoming a rout here. 4 goals, 2 in the first and 2 in the second for Mount Pleasant. This game is, if it wasn't already over, it's definitely wrapped up now. We're beginning to see a couple of players warming up on the opposing bench. Should expect a couple of changes after this water break. Of course, going into this water break, it's 4 goals now. Hard to see any sort of comeback taking place. I think it's safe to say that now Mount Pleasant are top of the table in this Jamaica U17 League Cup competition. And well deserved, I must say, the goal for Franco Celestine. He has been, I cannot stress it enough, the standout performer today. Amazing performance. His ability to beat his man yet again every single time, and not just beat his man, but find the right pass each time has been scintillating, breathtaking really to watch. He's capped it off with a goal here. Just 25 minutes to spare in the second half. Moments later, Chevon Byron from a corner kick that was not dealt with properly. Volleys it in. Just under 20 minutes to go in this one. Of course, you don't want to miss our next match, which will be taking place between Harbour, who are currently, well, before this match happened, were top of the table. They'll be taking on the bottom of the table, Montego Bay United. play.
man, bring it.
Abraham Josephs lose out again.
Heavy touch.
As previously mentioned, wholesale changes here made both sides. Clark tries to escape his defender. Leaves it off for Morrill. Grant loses the ball, and here's Claver Nugent. Can take on Connie Douglas, but instead ups to find Jaheim Douglas. Calmly goes back for Sean Williams. Beat his defender, and Connie Douglas does well to regain possession, and that will be a free kick and a foul to Ballaz Academy. Samuel Taylor, lovely work there to skip away from a defender, but just couldn't hang on to it there. Douglas. Dominant performance thus far from Mount Pleasant. Ballaz Academy still working hard, still trying to put a foot in. Silvera gets to that one. Scrappy play in this corner, but Joseph's trying to take on his man, and he does. But Mount Pleasant do well there to get that away for a throw. Jaheim Douglas. Clothes aren't. His kit is dirty. Given the industrious nature of his performance, that is understandable. And it's Siobhan Byron looking for a second of the game. Oh, lovely work there. Almost getting Mount Pleasant's fifth of the game. This Ballaz Academy have elected to replace starman Daniel Thomas. And Jaheim Harris comes onto the pitch. Has a chance here to get it back from Adrian Flinch immediately after coming on, but unfortunately, unable to get to it. It's Lavoy Allen on the ball. Trying to find Shaquem Gibson. Unfortunately, too much on the pass. With just 10 minutes to go, this game, of course, petering out towards the end. A lot of the star players been replaced due to the dominant nature of the scoreline. Of course, we can look forward to the next game. Stay tuned, as we will be covering Harbourview, who currently sits second on the table as a result of this game. They'll be taking on bottom of the table Richard Clark, who's starting up front today in place of Jaheim Harris, has been replaced by Harris. Industrious performance, but lack of service today up front for the front man. Doesn't get across into the box. Aiming for Siobhan Barron. Unable to find him. Scoreline remains 4 goals in favor of Mount Pleasant. Miguel Joseph, perhaps fouled by Jaheim Harris. Referee says play on. Great ball in the path of Abraham Joseph's. That is cleared by Jaheim Douglas. St. Joseph is down here. Perhaps just a bit of cramp, but he should be fine. Gibson trying to beat his man. Gets it back to Siobhan Byron. Trying to cross it, but that is blocked. Cross into the box. Aiming for Samuel Taylor. That's headed away by Silveira. Oh, lovely strike there. But unfortunately, it was just wide. Nugent tried to make it 5. Tried to get his second of the game. But the volley just not connected sweetly enough. And Nugent will be replaced, it seems. Oh, rather, he's just going over to the other side. My apologies. Douglas does well to find Joseph here. He can now take on his man. Joseph's taking on Jaheim Douglas, who's unfazed by the young man. Finds Jaheim Harris, using all his might to get to that ball. And despite keeping it in play, loses it. Seems Joseph was intimidated by the presence of Jaheim Douglas there. And unfortunately just couldn't come up with a good enough pass. That will be a free kick to Ballaz Academy. Full-time whistle should be coming soon. We're 2 minutes past normal time of play. But before that, Kanye Douglas will be taking this free kick to see if Ballaz Academy can get some sort of a consolation goal. Free kick taken. Can't beat the first man, unfortunately, and that's headed away. Silveira. His effort is way over the bar. Al Samuels. And that's it, folks. That's the end of the game. Mount Pleasant go back to the top of the table. Commanding, decisive 4-0 victory over Ballaz Academy. Thanks to goals in the first half from Jaheim Douglas and from the penalty spot, Claver Nugent. And then in the second half, Franco Celestin with a well-deserved goal after such a great performance. And the final goal was scored by substitute Siobhan Byron. Of course, stay tuned. We'll have the second game of the Jamaica Under-17 Elite Competition, Week 6. That will be Harbour taking on Montego Bay United. Stay tuned till next time.